Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to our mindful start to the week with Aneta and I. We've been showing up every Monday since the start of the year, except for the past 2 weeks. And it's so funny to just notice that even when you get out of your groove for like 2 weeks, it can make a sudden change in your life. It's so crazy how, as human beings, we thrive. Also, our brain thrives off routine and regularity. And I think that's also why I just love rituals so much, because it really keeps me in check with my mental health and all that. So today, it's the end of June, which is so crazy. It basically means that half of the year is gone. When you say it like that, it can sound quite drastic, but we're here to have a little check-in and also invite you to check in. Like, do you take the time to check in with yourself quarterly or half a year is gone and, see where you're at with your goals, your intentions? I love to. I love to do it every month. I used to do mind maps a lot. I don't really do it that much anymore, but setting focuses and intentions is just like my thing and I love it. So Aneta and I are here today to just kind of like reflect on the year so far and how much we've grown, and also reminding you how much you've grown. Even if you don't feel like it, there is always something to be proud of. So Aneta, how are you feeling? 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like I blinked my eyes six times. That's like, but I feel good, It's one of those things where it's like, even if you don't see like gigantic progress, you need to be grateful for the small progress because the small progress is what builds up to those bigger accomplishments. And I think it can be easy for us to get into our heads of saying, oh, I didn't do enough, or I didn't get to that goal yet. But if you've been working on working towards getting those goals a little bit every day, they will eventually come at the right time. It's like I heard the story of like a bamboo. Do you know the story of like how bamboo is planted? If you plant bamboo seeds in the ground, you literally see no results for I think 2 to 4 years. And then out of nowhere,
Really?
it
Because it
starts.
grows like a weed, like grows everywhere.
Exactly. For 2 to 4 years, you don't see anything. And then once it sprouts, you can't stop it from blooming. You can't. So I think it's one of those things where we need to just take into account and not be so hard on ourselves for not seeing the results yet, because everything has an appointed time and a perfect time to bloom. So that's just kind of like where I'm at, is just having that grace. Like, yes, we're 6 months into the year, but guess what? We have another 6 months to get ourselves and position ourselves to where we want to be.
I really like that. That's such a good perspective. Because I feel like at the start of the year, you always feel so pressured to, start the year, got to make all my goals come true. And then mid-year, if it's not, where you want to be, or if you haven't had the fruition that you've planned, I think that's really nice that you're like, oh yeah, well now look, you have another 6 months. I mean, we always have time. It's good to like put chunks of time for our brain to also understand, right? You have another half of the year, and now it's your chance like to ask yourself, are you gonna just keep living on standby, as I like to say it, just let your life go, or like put into the hands of other people and not really actively thriving? Or are you gonna make the decision to also just like step into your life and be the power, be the director? Because Aneta and I, we've moved countries, we've started again quite a few times. Not to say that you have to, we're just saying that the more you do these phases of your life, like kind of like of the unknown and like, where a lot of fear can come up, you just prove yourself every time that you really are capable of anything. And I think that's definitely like the energy that I'm going into the last half of the year, that anything actually can happen. I've just proven myself the first half of this year that like, wow, when I fix my mindset on like what I want to be and not what I like maybe have been in the past. You know what I mean? Then you can just strive to make all your dreams come true. Yeah, what do you think about that?
No, I love that, and I kind of want to piggyback off of that. It's who do you want to be? Because who you become in the process of achieving your goals is far more important than the material things. The material things that you will earn as like a reward, those are wonderful, but material things are temporary. So when you build your character in the process of becoming the best version of yourself, nobody can take your character away and nobody can take your education away. So if you earn like a material thing as a reward and then something happens and you no longer have that, well, you now have your education and your mindset and your character to fall back onto to work towards rebuilding that versus just relying on those material things. So I love that you say that it's becoming who do you want to become? Because who you want to become is so valuable. Nobody can take that away from you.
Yeah, that's very true. And it's funny that you actually brought up material things because the other day my friends are asking me like, so what am I gonna do with all my stuff here? And I was like, just give it away probably, like eBay or whatever. And they were just like, wow, you really don't have attachment. And it's something that I've actually nurtured all my life. I've never been this kind of person that like strives for material items. But saying that, I definitely feel it was an energy blockage in me earning the wealth that I deserve. Because it was always like, oh, I don't need that to be happy, which I don't, but it was also okay to have a pool, for example, like you know, have these like things around you that do actually fulfill you and not just basically focus on like that car that is going to make you happy, but rather be happy in this moment, right? Like it's all about right now. It's not about focusing on what state I will be in when I'm going to Costa Rica because I'm already in that state of fulfilled abundance and happiness. And I think a lot of people really struggle with that. Well, I know a lot of people struggle with that. I've worked with a lot of people that were clients and yoga students, and it's like they're very much like held to the past. Or to the future that they're just so scared of the unknown. So how would you say that you like ground yourself, like, you know, because we've both kind of been in those situations where we've just left and just gone, right? Where you know that the future is going to be okay, or like how you're able to focus on that more optimistic side.
Absolutely. Like I'm not against like having material things and having nice things because that it's like a reward of what you've worked for, but
Yeah.
don't expect to find happiness and fulfillment in material things. That's the biggest thing because I was living in Chicago. I was actually living in my dream apartment at the time, and it was wonderful. It was in a prime location. I didn't need a car, so I was able to walk everywhere. The building was really nice. And then I decided that I wanted to go learn more about myself and learn more about the world. So when I moved to Mexico, I literally stayed in hostels for 2 months, like, that was a complete change for me, but I didn't let it define me because I let it shape me and shape my character. Like, I would be like, "Wow, the water works. I'm so grateful that the water works." And when you start to be grateful for the little things, it makes the transition a lot more smoother because when you can be grateful with the little, then you'll be grateful when you get more. And if you can't be grateful with the little, you're never going to find happiness and fulfillment when you get more. You're never going to find happiness and fulfillment in the material things if you're not happy and grateful along the way with the little things. Like, one of the things that I've talked about this before, and you know how it goes. When the boiler breaks, first I was like thankful that the water was running and the water was hot. and I would express gratitude, but then the boiler breaks. And then I would say, you know what? Even though the boiler broke, like I'm so thankful that I have a bucket that I can fill the water up, and I'm so thankful that I can heat it up manually. And even though it wasn't anything glamorous or fancy, I was still finding ways to be grateful in those little moments. So when I did get the opportunity to take a normal shower, I appreciated it a lot more. So I think really just finding gratitude in everything. Find the good in everything. Like that's the key is gratitude will take you so far.
You know, this is so funny because guess what?
What? Your
My
boiler.
boiler is broken. And it's so funny. I also thought of you. It happened like 4 days ago. And luckily, it's really hot here, so I don't mind cold showers, but I'll need to wash my hair soon. And yeah, I'm called up today. It's going to take longer than I expected, right? And you know what? I was actually thinking of you firstly, and then I was thinking, wow, I'm so proud of myself. Like, normally when things like this occur, you get like frustrated or agitated. And I was like, it is what it is. I was like, I even said to them on the phone, at least it's hot weather and I don't mind a cold shower.
So true though. That is
Right?
so true because when it's cold outside, that's a whole different game.
Exactly. And I was like, okay. And then I lost the key to my post box.
Oh no.
And it just happens like last week, when I get back from my holiday and I'm like also doing these workshops and events. And I think I was just like, it was just a lot. And then I'm like, okay, Grace, this is two things. It's fine though. And normally I would get annoyed at myself because I am quite, I don't want to say I'm clumsy, but I can like, lose little things, right? And we all can, whatever, right? And then I was like looking for it and I was like, I'm not going to get annoyed because normally I'd be like, where is it? Like, short tempered. But I also find like meditation and present awareness has really enabled me to just like be grounded in these moments and just like breathe in and out and just laugh it out. And I'm like, it's okay. And now I'm like, the key will turn up in its own way. And the
Yeah.
only reason I wanted to find the key was because I'd ordered a book while I was away on holiday, and I was excited to come back for it to be in the box. So I just like fished it out with my hand, and I was like, "Well, at least I could actually get it out."
And you know what? The fact that you were just being optimistic through that, you were able to laugh through it and you were finding the good, and I'm proud of you because that's awesome.
I think it's really like life actually just nudging me, like big changes are coming. And, when I move to Costa Rica, I'm so sure these little things will also appear, right? Like accustoming to different cultures and stuff. So I always think, I don't know if, like, I think you're also like that with the mindset that, like, what is the lesson I'm learning from this? Like, what is
Yeah.
God trying to show me or the universe or whatever? Like, I always ask that question in everything. And I think that is like also another like just little adjustment like gratitude that when you do, you you just like become so much more hyper aware to take care and to laugh off and like to just not take things so seriously. And what is the point of me wasting my energy and getting angry or agitated? I was just like, whatever. Like, it doesn't mean that I put it to the side because I used to, like procrastinate or whatnot. I'll call them, I'll deal with it, I'll email. But then whatever is in my power or exceeds than my power, then that's okay. Like I just accept and then say everything will work out. And I think just that little shift, Aneta, like everything is working out. It's okay, it will come. Like with my key, I was like, it will appear at one day at some point. Because those times when you like look, and then you can't find it, and then one day it's just there. It's like when you're going shopping and you're trying to find the perfect dress, and you're like, oh, I can't find it. But then when you're not looking for anything, you find like the nicest dress, and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this dress.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true though. And I love that. It's not having so much expectation rather than learning to have fun with the process. And that's
Yeah.
so important. Like one thing my old roommate would always say, she's like, and I don't know why you laugh at everything. And I'm like, it's not that I'm like, I think everything is funny. It's just like, why am I gonna waste my time getting upset or frustrated over something when I can just brush it off, giggle a little, and that's gonna boost my mood more versus pulling myself backwards. And that's so awesome, especially like when you're moving to another country that you haven't been to yet. Yeah, it's like you're just getting tested with the little stuff now. So when those little hiccups happen later on, you'll just brush it off and laugh at yourself. One of the biggest things I've learned is to laugh at myself. Like,
Right? It's so
yeah,
freeing. I like that you
yeah,
put that giggle a little. Maybe that should
yeah.
be our catchphrase. Just giggle a little.
Just giggle a little. I mean, maybe because my old roommate, she's a lawyer, so she's a little bit more serious than I am sometimes, but I definitely was just like, we'll just brush it off and giggle.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but like that's something as adults we misinterpret, like you just
Yeah.
said. Like people like, oh, why, I don't know, why you not take life so seriously? Or are you not taking me seriously? Or whatever it could be. And then I'm like, well, no, it's not even that. It's just that I laugh. But to be fair, I don't even have to explain myself because when people meet me, they just know that's like my energy anyway.
Yeah.
And you also notice how contagious it is because I work with kids, so kids are always laughing, right? And I think I've said this before and I've mentioned it in my book, but we can't mention it enough times. Kids laugh 500 times more than adults, and it's just crazy on a daily basis. And kids have asked me before, like, I remember because I'm just always laughing. They look at me and they're like, are you an adult? And I'm like, yes, I am. And they laugh even more like a little baby kid saying that to me. And I'm like, yes, but I don't take life
Are you
seriously.
an adult?
Because I
That
think
is
they get
so
confused
cute.
because I'm like, playing with them maybe and act maybe more like their friends sometimes. But that made me giggle and also made me sad to think that like, oh, they see adults as like these, stereotype kind of direct and dull people in the real world. And as an F says, like if you invite laughter into your life, like it's medicine for the soul. Like I promise, like whenever something bad happens, I will take a deep breath, laugh, obviously get on with it. But laughing obviously just activates your parasympathetic system too. Like it allows you to just be more loose and free. So why wouldn't you want to do it more? Like I said this the other day on one of my notes. I was like, really one of my most frequent questions when I walk in the streets is why don't people smile?
Yeah. But I guess it also depends where you are though, because I think like in the hustle of like some,
Mhm.
if you have really busy cities, then like they are just like more focused on the hustle. But if you go
Yeah.
to like more of like a slower paced city, then maybe. But yeah, you're right. Well, it's just like even like yesterday, like I was laying in my bed and I had this crew neck on and I went to grab like my water and I spilled my water all over my crew neck and my sweatshirt. And then I was like, you know what? It's okay. Maybe I needed to wash it anyway. I'll just go change.
Isn't it so funny how we like parent ourselves? Like it's like when you're actively like talking to yourself like a little child, like don't worry about it, you'll be fine. We need to watch it anyway. Like it's so funny. It's the best medicine though. Why do you have to beat yourself up? Like just right?
You know, exactly. You don't have to beat yourself up. Maybe you just needed to wash it so you can have it ready for another occasion.
I love that. I feel like this is a great summary that we are going to continue to be grounded in gratitude because it only heightens our vibrations and success in wealth, health, and joy. Laugh more or keep laughing because we both just like giggle a little, as you said, and talk to ourselves like the little child we are, and it's okay. I really noticed that, like now living on my own again, like how I do just be like, "It's okay, you're hungry, we'll cook you something, like if my body is like, or if I'm tired." And I'm just like, it's funny you said this because I was literally laughing at myself yesterday. I was like, wow, it's nice that I'm actually speaking to myself like this now, instead of
Holding
battling
it
even.
in.
Yeah, or holding it in. So there are three little go-to tips for the next half of the year, and through them, you will just notice yourself becoming more free, calm, collected, and confident. I think it's very nice three shifts that we can share with you guys. Um, so yeah, for now, thank you for the start of this mindful week, like mindful year and life. And Aneta and I come live every Monday. Next month in Mindful Moments newsletter, our theme is friendship. And I'm really excited to dive into that. Because we're living in a world of loneliness and we need more connection. So yeah. Um Take care of yourself and take care of others, basically.
We love you guys, and we're so happy to be back with you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.